Hi everybody, my name is Mrs. Raffensperger and I am a 5th grade teacher at Indian Rock. I am so excited to be reading a little bit of our story together with you today. We are going to be starting on page 31. Successful. From listening to the hazmats, I know I am not the first of my kind. I am not the second of my kind either. There have been many Mars rovers. Some of those rovers have been what the hazmats call successful. Some have not. The knots crashed into the surface of Mars during landing, which means they never got the chance to explore. Or the knots got permanently stuck when their mission had just begun, their wheels thwarted by particularly rocky soil. Or their interior computer brain went completely buggy and they were no longer able to communicate with Earth. That last one sounds particularly bad. I would not like to experience that. Rania and Xander and the other hazmats very much want Journey and me to be successful. It is easy for me to understand what has made a rover not successful. It is not as easy, though, for me to understand what makes one successful, but I want to figure it out. When I tell all of this to Journey, Journey says, beeps and boops. Want is not in our programming. But want is in my programming. I am sure of it, because I do want. I want Ranya's eyes as she runs the I watch Ranya's eyes as she runs the numbers, as she goes through calculation after calculation. Ranya and Xander are the most concerned about the part of the mission that they call the landing. This is when I will fall from space onto Mars' surface. This is the part where I am most likely to crash, where I am most likely to be unsuccessful. Rania has started staying later and later at night. I listen to her phone calls with her mother. I have learned that when Rania talks to her mother, she speaks in a language the hazmats call Arabic. This is different from the language of English, which is the language she speaks in with Xander. All human languages take place at the same pitch and frequency, which makes them sound similar to me as I translate them for my own understanding. Rania only talks to her mother when all the other hazmats have left the laboratory, when she is the last one here. Mama, I know, Rania says. Yes, of course, I would love to be there right now, but I just can't. Can you put her on the phone? I do not know who her is, and I do not know the precise meaning of this word that she used, love. But Ranya's voice changes when she switches from talking to her mom to talking to this unknown her. Her voice is less crisp, more fuzzy. Hearing her voice sound like this gives me a good feeling, a human emotion I am not sure I have the name for yet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, Rania sings into the phone. I hear a tiny voice sing back. I have never sung before, but I would like to learn how. Good night, Sophie, Rania says. That is how I learn that Sophie is her. Based on Ranya's tone of voice, I am able to easily observe that Sophie is very important to Ranya. I listened to many phone calls between Rania and Sophie, between Rania and her mother. During another phone call with her mother, Rania says, Mama, I'm sorry, I just can't. We're getting closer and closer to launch. Mama, you're not listening to me. And another, yes, it's important. This has been over 7 years of my life, Mama. I can't give up now. Rania makes a loud snorting sound. Yeah, I hope it'll be worth it too. After Rania hangs up from that phone call, she looks right at me. I really think she might talk to me in human speech for the first time. I want so badly to say, I'm going to try to be worth it. Trust me, Rania. But she doesn't talk to me, and I can't talk to her. I am only able to sit on the table and wait. Landings. The landing is often the most difficult part of the mission. The hazmats frequently call the landing the 7 minutes of terror. Terror is not something I am sure I can experience, but it does not sound pleasant. It would be preferable to avoid it if possible. From listening to the hazmats talk, I have deciphered that during those 7 minutes, Journey and I will be on our own. We will be in full control of steering and guiding our own landing. This is because it takes too long to get a message from Earth to Mars. Therefore, the hazmats have to trust us to complete the landing on our own. During the landing, I will have to prove that I am worthy of that trust. Rania spends a lot of time running numbers and simulations about how I will land. She does this late at night. She does this even when her mother and Sophie and Scott really want her to come home. Scott, I have learned, is what the hazmats call a husband. He seems very important to Rania, too. One night, I hear Rania talking to Sophie. She has already sung Twinkle, Twinkle. Soph, Rania says, I know it's hard to wait, but I promise I'm going to be home soon. The time will go faster if you get to sleep. Sophie, I realize, is like me. She does not like to wait. Good night, love bug. I love you to the moon and back, Rania says in her fuzzy voice, the voice she only uses when she talks to Sophie, and hangs up the phone. She goes back to trying to figure out the calculations to ensure that I have a safe landing. Even if Journey says want is not in our programming, I want to land. I do not want to crash. Want, want, want. This is a human feeling I have grown very familiar with. A rover who is worth it will not crash. I don't want to crash. Ranya's phone. I cannot talk in human speech to Rania, but I can talk in machine speech to her phone. Her phone is not that interested in talking to me, though. The phone seems to like to play games all day when she is not in use. Do you have a name? I say. I am busy, level 33. That is your name? I am busy, level 33? No, I am busy, level 33. Okay, I say, still not sure I am processing the information correctly. I am worried about Rania. Worried? You're worried? Worried is not a word for you. Worried is a word for her mother. Her mother uses worried all the time. That's why I'm worried. I hear those conversations, I say. Oh, you hear those conversations? Try being me. I am those conversations. Dang, I received a text message and I got distracted. Game over. Time to start again. Game over? I lost at level 33. Do you think Rania is okay? I do not know how to answer that. Her mother seems worried about her. Yes, her mother is worried. Why? I ask. She works a lot, all the time. Her mother is worried that Rania is giving up too much of her life for her work. For you. Zing! Level 2. Here we go. We are rolling. Giving up too much for me? That she is missing out on too much time with her family. Rania really misses Scott and Sophie and her mother when she is here at work. Missing out on her life. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, she downloaded this game 3 years ago, but hasn't played it once. It's a great game, too. I play it all the time. Anyway, Rania misses lots of family things, like special dinners and Sophie's soccer games. I see her put those events on the calendar, but she never goes to them. Man, those phone calls with her mother all start to sound the same. Wah, 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 so boring. Hooray! Zing again! Moving on to level 3. Also, how many times can we listen to that one song? Twinkle, Twinkle? I ask. It is a beautiful song. Beautiful is a word I have learned from the hazmats. It is a word that sounds like what it means. It is a word that sounds like Ranya's voice when she sings to Sophie. Not sure I agree. Ugh! Oh wait. Yay! Made it to level 4. I'm going to be worth it, I tell Ranya's phone. All the things she missed, it will be okay because I'm going to do an amazing job on Mars. Okay, Rover, whatever you say. My name is Resilience, I say. The phone doesn't respond after that, but it feels good to have said it. All right, page 39. Dear Rez, is it okay if I call you Rez? Mom says that is what everyone at the lab calls you, and it's easier for me to spell that than resilience. I scored 3 goals at my soccer game yesterday. Mom wasn't there to see it. You know why? Because she was working on you. You sure take up a lot of time. Dad and City cheered extra loud for my goals, but I still missed hearing Mom shout. Sometimes I get mad at you, but the real truth, which is hard to say, is that I'm kind of mad at Mom, even though I'm proud of her too. Dad says Mom and everyone else at Jet Propulsion Laboratory and NASA are changing the world. That might be true, but I still would have really liked her to watch me score. Mom, Dad, and I went out for ice cream on Sunday because Mom felt bad about missing my soccer game. She showed me pictures of your brain. No offense, but you look sort of funny. Does your brain make it does your brain make it so you can be lonely? Like when Mom goes home and you are left all by yourself, do you feel lonely? I feel lonely right now. Mom says I might get to come to the lab soon to meet you. I think that would be really cool. I know you can't actually talk, but I still would like to say hi. I bet you'd understand. Okay, I'm going to try to get to sleep now. I know rovers don't sleep, but I'm a human, so I have to. Your friend, Sophie. Whole. Today I am built, all my pieces connected. Whole. Looking good, Rez, Xander says. Rania rolls her eyes, but she smiles a little. I can tell she thinks I'm looking good too. Each of my body parts is able to talk to one another, or more accurately, my brain is able to talk to all my body parts. Look, I tell Journey that night, I am built. You still haven't moved, but I could. That is not entirely accurate. Right now, I have code that prevents me from moving on my own, but I can feel the possibility of movement in my wheels. See, I say, I am not a backup. You don't know that. It is possible they are building you to test you as a backup. I am going to Mars. There is no way for you to be certain of that, Journey says. Wait, are you certain of it? I ask. You are frequently asking me to wait. Wait is like my beeps and boops. Beeps and boops, it is not. You did not make it up. Okay, I say. There is silence for a long time, only the hum of the industrial fan overhead. Then I say, how are you so certain that you are going to Mars? We were built for a mission to Mars. Yes, I say, we were. We're going to Mars together. Beeps and boops, but yes, but by my calculations, that appears to be the most probable outcome. I don't let that beeps and boops distract me from the fact that Journey said she thinks it is probable that I am going to Mars. This makes me feel one of the very best human feelings. I am glad to be going with you. We're going to discover great things. Glad? You sound like a human. I am not sure what to say. I am learning lots of things from the hazmats. Aren't you? I am not learning human feelings. We are not supposed to learn human feelings. Human feelings will not serve us well on Mars. I do not know if Journey is right, but if she is right, I need to stop learning human feelings. The most important thing is that I do a good job on our mission. I think of Ranya's late night phone calls with her mother. I think of the way her voice gets fuzzy when she talks to Sophie, of how softly and gently she sings, Twinkle, Twinkle. I think of the way she says, I hope it's worth it too. But you think I'm going to get to go, right? I ask. Resilience, Journey says. I do not have a way of knowing that for certain, and it is not in my programming to make guesses based on information I do not have. It is the first time Journey has called me by my name. I try to resist having a human feeling about that. My resistance, though, proves to be futile. The human emotion stays. It is another great one. You gave me the probability before. That was a mistake, Journey says. It will not happen again. There is a slow hiss of the air filters, and the ceiling fan still drones on. A soft hum. A hazmat must have left the fans on for the night. Other than those, I do not detect any other sounds. I wait in the quiet for Journey to continue our conversation. You do understand that the hazmats built us to be different from them, right? Journey says, finally breaking the silence. Yes, I say, even though for one of the first times I am not sure I actually understand. I usually understand everything. It is a confusing and terrible feeling to not understand something. We are built to be logical, to make calculated decisions. You could say that is the opposite of human feelings. Why? Beeps and boops, what do you mean, why? Why would human feelings be bad on Mars? Are you making a human-like joke? No, I am being very serious, I say. Resilience, don't you understand that human feelings are dangerous? They make humans make poor decisions. You see, humans have attachments. They care about each other and about other things here on Earth. And because of their attachments and their feelings, they do things that are dangerous. We were built to avoid the problems of humans. We were built to make good decisions. Overhead, the lights flash on. This is a sign that the hazmats are returning, that it is the time of day they call morning. Slowly, and then all at once, the lab fills up with the sound of human footsteps and human voices. On Mars, I will make good decisions, I say. Okay, Journey says. I really will, I say to Journey. I will be a rover who is worth it.